On the line with me right now, okay, and one of my favorite people in the whole world. We've been through a lot together. I can't imagine being one of his girlfriends. Holy shit. It's the great, and I will stress this, not late, Artie Lange. Artie, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, Nick? Good to see you. Good to see you. You had a chance to be one of my girlfriends several times. You turned me down. But it's good to hear from you in Georgia.
Yeah.
Doing your show, doing your thing.
Oh, man, I should have moved here in high school. You know me, Artie. I'm one pickup truck away from from buying overalls, I should say. Hey, let me ask you, Artie, real quick, because this is the question everybody wants to know. Where have you been? Where have you been? What have you been doing the last 6 months? Because every time I go on the road, I get this question. Since you and I ended the Nick and Artie show, they always go, where's Artie? And I always have like 3 stock answers. I go, he's either in jail or in rehab. And I said, if I'm in a shitty mood, I go, hey, I'm not his wet nurse. Fucking, here's his phone number. Call him. But what have you been?
That's the usual answer I bet they get.
What have you been doing?
Well, thanks for asking. I took it down a couple of notches because I came back and I've stayed clean and sober. That's like a full-time job, you know. I go to meetings on Zoom. In the summertime, they had some AA meetings outdoors that I attended, and
no kidding.
I work a program, and I just thought that I had to, sort of retreat a little bit from the work I was doing to make that happen and stay out of jail, stay out of rehab. But I've been clean now almost 2 years, so
Wow.
Yeah, it's a different life. It's a different life. Doing drugs is a full-time job. And it takes up a lot of time, and you got to do something else in your time to. You got to get a different life. You meet people that are in the same struggle a little bit, and you try to hang out with them more, And that's the thing. If you got to make sacrifices like take back work a little bit, that's what you got to do. So that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing the past 6 months. People have been very nice. Online from what I've seen, and they're concerned. I'm sorry people give you such shit for it, but
no, they do it out of love, man. Are you bored, Artie? Like, do you feel? I mean, because when you're a party hardy like that all your life, are you crawling the walls, or
Not really. No, it's part of that was part of that happened in the beginning. But it's not so much. It's just like thinking clearer. You start to think clearer, and you start to think, wow, I did this, I did that, and it's trying to get over a lot of the stuff that you did when you were messed up, and trying to figure out a way to live without you think stuff you thought was exciting. And it wasn't exciting. It was exciting, but it was also dangerous. Yeah, and stuff you just threw shit to the wind at for a long time. You start to realize you can't do that anymore.
Do you look back and go?
But not even crawling the walls in the beginning. That's the case, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of that in rehab, and got that over with. And then you come out, and you got to. That's why meeting other people, you get involved in their world, and it's like making friends again. It's a whole process, but you embrace it and you figure your life is worth it,
Yeah. After watching the news, I'm not sure you're right, but the fuck is going on?
How are you doing down there in Georgia?
Oh, I'd never been happier, man. This show took off. Thank God. I hooked up with Tommy, who knows what he's doing marketing wise, and. I live in this beautiful neighborhood, and this when you look at Savannah, you think of those Spanish moss trees, the Spanish moss hanging down. I live on
right. I've been to Savannah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know. So in the studio, I found a studio 9 minutes from my house. As opposed to when I used to sit on the Sawmill Parkway at 5 o'clock to try to get to our radio gig that you and I had at the beginning, remember? And I used to be out of my I'd literally go to a bar, which didn't help the Nick and Artie show, but I'd literally have to have 3 drinks to take the edge off because I'd be out of my mind. I come into the Comedy Cellar and Colin goes, "Why are you so crazy that there's traffic in New York?" And I go, it doesn't matter that I know it's coming. It doesn't make it any less fucking annoying. And I just, I used to have my best sets.
That is a different life than living in Savannah, Georgia. I mean, that is like, God. Forget about it.
But it's not too slow. You know, I mean, Artie, it's not too slow. I mean, first thing I did when I got down here, Artie, I bought a handgun. And literally the second day I got here, I bought a handgun. I put it on my lap and I drove through the Chick-fil-A drive-through, thinking I just wanted to get a reaction from the person in the window. Didn't even faze them. They're like, "Hey, that's a 6.42 lightweight, ain't it? Smith & Wesson. That's a revolver." I go, "How did you know that?"
Wait, so the person could see the gun?
Yeah, it was on my lap. I did it on purpose, just to let them know there was a crazy Yankee in town. And they're like, "That's a 6.42 light." I go, "How do you know that?" And they're like, "Well, I shot my stepdad. He's trying to fuck my sister last Christmas." And I go, "Well, that's a nice story, Pam. But can I get some more ketchup, please?"
So you don't feel any danger having a gun in the house?
Well, it depends on what time of the month it is with the wife. That's the only time I get a little nervous. But no, I feel just the opposite. I have a handgun, and I bought a couple months ago. I got an AR-15. I mean, I'm in the South. We have to do this.
What do you do? Where do you go shoot? You go to a range?
Yes.
Like in Savannah, can you just go right in your backyard and shoot a tree if you want?
No, I'm in a residential area. But here's what I love about Savannah, Artie. Everything is literally 2.5 miles from my house. I swear to God. So I get the gun. I'm like, I know there's a range in Savannah somewhere. I Google it. It's at 1.9 miles from your house, an indoor range. And I went there, and it's so funny. The first day I went there was a guy in there, Artie, with a military-grade machine gun. They warned us before we went in that it's extremely loud, even with your headphones on. Fucking every time this guy shot this thing, my heart would like defibrillate. I've never felt anything.
Yeah. If you remember when we were in Afghanistan up in that helicopter.
Yeah.
Were you up in the helicopter when the guy was letting me shoot I couldn't shoot a mountain. The thing had such a kick.
Yeah,
in it.
we both shot it.
This redneck Marine was going, shoot that mountain. And I'm like, I can't shoot the mountain.
Yeah.
It was just kicking back so hard, and it was so insanely loud. I had the headsets on, but
Yeah.
You're talking about that at like a shooting range in Georgia.
Yeah, inside, with bad
acoustics.
Oh my God, it was fine. So, just to give Antifa an idea what they might face if they want to come into the suburbs down here. But, I mean, you can't find ammunition down here, or fuck, it is unbelievable. I'm making my own ammunition.
Right.
I'm in my basement, using my wife's biscuits from fucking Thanksgiving. But
so you learned how to make bullets?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe I should eventually come down there and get a gun and just start shooting things. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would work the same at a Burger King, if the kid would care at a Burger King. I think he might.
Yeah, Burger King, the guy will stick a gun in your face himself. But what's great about it, Artie, is my buddy Zook. You know Zook. He was a cop for 33 years in Miami.
Yeah, a cop. Yeah.
So he came down here, and his life dream was to buy like a rundown house on a big farm. And so he bought a house about an hour and a half from here on 30 acres of land. And I said to him, "You're like fucking English Bob in The Unforgiven. I'm going to come down there. You're going to be on the roof, and it's all crooked and shit." So, but here's
You're talking about the Queen again, Zook, on Independence Day?
He's going to, here's the beauty of that, Artie, 30 acres. I'm going to go down there every weekend with my guns. You can, fucking 30 acres, we can shoot all over the place.
30 acres, holy shit. But so you live in just a regular house?
I live in I just have a nice little backyard, and I live on like the most beautiful street in Savannah. That's from people Savannah say that. So, it's very nice. But again, the best part is the airport is 18 minutes away. My work is 9 minutes away. Anytime you need something, it's a college town, so it's not like a bunch of old people. There's young people, and it's got everything. And I know you can't drink anymore, but they have the most beautiful bars and restaurants. I was looking online at some old shows of you and I, of the Nick and Artie show. I found the clip. And I think the hardest we both laughed was you were talking about, you're like, yeah, me and my uncle you said we're installing, I don't know if it was ductwork or cable, and you go at a beautiful guy's house instead of a guy's beautiful house. Do you remember that one? And I go, I said, what are you putting a foyer in at fucking I don't know, Fabian's house, whatever. I look at those pictures. I still have them on my iPad and on my phone of you and I in like Times Square when we first got the DirecTV deal. Literally, our faces are on a giant electronic billboard in Times Square.
Yeah.
And then cut to, a month later, we have a celebrity chef on our show, on the DirecTV show, and Artie's actually throwing like fucking macaroni at him during this segment. I mean, I've never laughed and been more appalled in my life. But
I'd say appalling is the word.
I mean, you were involved now in this platform with Tommy, our manager. The Comics Gym.
Yeah, that's where Artie's show is going to be. Halfway House. Jim Florentine's on there. The late great Otto and George. And
we have a dead guy on the platform.
We have a dead guy on the platform. You know what? I've been watching Otto's clips though on YouTube for like a month. Artie, oh my God, crying out loud. I had my buddy Zook, the cop, watch it. He had never seen Otto and George before. The guy, I can't talk to him now without my buddy going, a cock. We were watching clips of him hosting the Porn Awards, and this had to be Christ. I think it said 1998 on it, right? And he's doing his filthy shit and killing, and they cut to the audience. They kept putting, audience shots in there like they do with comedy, and it was always like a hot porn star or some shit. But one of the ones he's doing like he goes, Michael Jackson, he did it to those kids. He goes, those kids were so young. After they blew him, he had to burp some of them. And they put the camera on fucking, who's there? Robert Goulet. I mean, he was so goddamn funny. And they brought out these, 5 or 6 actresses, porno actresses. And one of them had the biggest, fakest tits I've ever seen. And fucking, of course, the puppet went nuts on her, Hey, he goes, look alive. First he yells at He's just a fuck. He goes, excuse me, miss. He goes, do you take cream with your coffee? A cock.
Well, I'm happy for you, man, because this thing is exciting with Tommy. That is, because it is really like in the new world of entertainment to have that kind of freedom. But, I'm happy for you that you're so happy, man. You worked hard your whole life. You're one of the best comics out there, man.
Thank you, man. You've always said that about me, and very flattered coming from one of the funniest people on the planet, not to blow each other. But no, I mean, seriously, Artie, nobody tells a story like Artie. Artie, please tell the people about Uncle Sal and the show he was watching when you came home one night.
Yeah, this is my Uncle Sonny.
Uncle Sonny, sorry.
Eating some wet mozzarella like an apple. His favorite show at the end of the last 5 years of his life, he watched nothing but television.
Yeah.
And his favorite show was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And
blue collar guy.
I said to him, Uncle Son, what is this show about? He looked at me with a full mouth and he went, "It's a Jew broad fights Draculas."
To this day, it's the funniest. I've told that to more people. A Jew broad that fights Dracula's plural. Norman Lear couldn't have come up with something that funny if he wanted to, so-called be a bigoted character.
That's bumper sticker ready. That line, that right off the top of his head, and the fact that he made Dracula's plural is unbelievable.
And then
something the people at the gun range. That's something the people at the gun range in Savannah would love.
Oh my God, would they ever? I did a show. My best show within the last 2 years was in Dallas it's a theater that they shot Oswald at in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
you're watching a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And they showed me the seat and everything. But I did a show there, Artie, and the jokes that would make people cringe in New York and everywhere, even in the, it would make people cringe in the South or the Midwest. I'm talking hardcore shit that you and I would laugh at. They would give me an applause break on in Dallas. And I'm like, I got to shoot something here, and I don't mean a patsy set up by the government, but I want to shoot something in that theater, man, because people have had enough, and they would eat up what you do too. People have had enough, Yeah, no,
the Dallas. I played Dallas before. There's great crowds down there, man. It's a big country, dude. And it's
amen.
There's got to be There's got to be a place for people who are, definitely on your level of ability of a comic. I mean, to thrive, and that's great. So you sound good, and
you do too.
That's what I've been doing, man. That's what I've been keeping busy.
Well, very good, man, and I'm glad you're in good spirits, and stay clean, Artie, please, for everybody, because you're still a legend, and I do. I read a couple articles, and you mentioned me, and we went through a lot of shit together. But you know what?
Yeah,
life is too short. So hang in there, brother, and we'll speak again, and we'll see you on thecomicsgym.com, the new platform where me and Artie will really cut loose. Not together. We have our own shows. So, but looking forward to it.
I can't wait to do that. It's going to be fun.
All right, brother.
And love you, buddy. Be
Same
good.
here,
Stay
Artie.
well.
All right. Bye-bye.